Welcome to this episode of Your Property Business, the video podcasts that help you get the most out of your own property business.
It was described to me a while ago. Then this is a description that kind of has resonated with me and stuck with me for a while. The process of buying a house is a long process. An investment property, for example, is a long process. So not least, first save for a deposit. That could take a lot of years. Then you've got to go and hunt for a property, and that could take 3, 6, 12 months to get the right one. And then you've got to sort of deal with the paperwork with a mortgage, and then you've got sign the legals and that kind of stuff. And at that point, you own this thing, and it might be that some people would say, "Cool, give it to letting agent, let the property." Cool. At that point, there's no thought on design. So, and it's missing out on quite a lot of value that you could have added to that property because there's no thought process that's been put into it. And I love the idea that a little bit more effort, because that's a long process, that could have taken you 5 years to get to own that property. A little bit more effort might have made all the difference to your product and what you offer.
Yeah, I just to give an example, I see projects out there like let's say HMO conversions, and then it's not it's quite common for them. It's like when it was a full refurb, take let's say a three bed property with two reception rooms, only going to convert it into a 6-bed HMO, and it's quite a large project. And they put quite a lot of money into it, and then not quite often 120K or up to 140 or so or more. So spending just a tiny bit, in this added value and this seeing the concept, it is such a small amount, and then you can raise everything. Like how much this is gonna achieve in GDV, how much you can rent for, who's your tenant gonna be, because once you raise that standard, a lot of times you're gonna have a better tenant, less voids, and so on. So it's such a small effort at the beginning. Planning is key. I think it's with all this project for you to achieve the most out of this property. And the beauty of it is you only have to do it once. You do it now at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have this property forever.
Putting some numbers on that. If you sort of say, it's a 6-bed HMO, and putting that bit of effort in at the right moment. If, for example, it gave you another £50 per room, which in itself doesn't seem too much, but £50, or call it 5 beds, £50 times 5 is £250 a month that goes straight to the bottom line. That is profit. Times it by 12 is £3,000 a year. Times it by 5 is 50, whatever, it's £15,000. So that's a small example of what the gain could be just by doing a little bit more thinking at the right time.
No, I can give you another example, because you can increase it by probably 80%, let's say. So I've seen properties where HMOs in an area that a room will rent out for $450 a month.
Okay, yeah, $450,
and then a nicely done, a premium HMO done in the same area, it will rent out at £750 to £800.
So the same size room, same location.
Yes.
Okay.
And then has been told that you're never going to get these figures.
Okay.
By the agents, and so on. And the problem is with the industry, you as a investor, maybe you go into a new area or you've not done it before. The industry is teaching you to call the agents, ask how much you can achieve. But they're only going to tell you what sort of comparables you have within that area.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to push the boundaries of your product, you have the vision for something. If you want to push for, let's say, a premium HMO, a luxury boutique style type hotel HMO, which you'll be proud to live in, you as a tenant. If there's nothing there on the market, it's like there's nothing to compare. And so how come you, as an agent, you can tell, okay, you can't achieve this figure? Obviously, it's nothing to compare with. So that's the issue. It's why somebody pays £1,500 for a phone where they can get one for £50. Why somebody pays £500,000 for a car, they can get just one for £10,000. So you're trying to achieve a product which is not a push the boundaries. Probably not that much, but you can still achieve some really great. So not just £50. You can go.
That's a much better example, and in truth, it sounds a much more realistic example, because £50 is neither here nor there. And I'm just sort of looking at our book of managed properties. The average property, if I created all of our rooms, put an average on it, it's around £550 a room, including bills. So not a massive number. But our highest rental room is £900. It is in an ensuite room, but it's not quite double, but it's almost double the average. So a fantastic increase on the return. So I think you're right. It's dangerous talking about averages, and probably wrong to talk about averages, because the truth is we don't really want to be average. You want to be the top 20%. Yeah.
Correct. And then this goes back to what I said earlier about increasing your GDV, because if you have a product like this, a premium HMO, which is achieving £800 a room instead of £450 or 500, 500, this obviously reflects back on your GDV, because once you have the valuation back, that obviously this is based on what's your rental income, especially commercial valuations at least. So this is purely added value through design.
And I guess go on. Yeah.
And then a lot of the times you still get a lot of percentage back once you refinance. So it's not like you invested a lot more. Yes, you did, but once that product's finished, you're still gonna have it back, because it has a different value. If you expect it to have the end valuation gonna be around 450, but if you achieve 540, for example, because of it, you invest a bit more. So it's still happy days. Like it's a win-win situation no matter what.
There was another sort of angle on it as well. I was thinking was that you might consider, to get to where I want to get to in terms of income levels, I might need 4 properties. Fine, you might need 4 properties. That kind of means 4 deposits of whatever number. But actually, if you're achieving a higher return on investment, higher GDV, and higher values, rental value, property values, you might need 2, or you might, so the capital required is a lot less, and therefore a lot quicker to get to where you want to get to. Anyway, so I think we are on the same page, obviously, about it's a very good place to start thinking about how can I maximize my GDV, my rental values, through some well-placed conversations and well-placed thought about space design and essentially function is what we're talking about here, I think.
Correct. Yes. And then it is to go for quality rather than volume. Because once you have volume, you're dealing with a different customer, different tenant, and so on, who's going to rent. And then you just want to differentiate yourself from the market, just to step up the bit, because the market is flooded with average type properties, and then
that's the same the world over, isn't it? Anything you look at, there will be an average by definition. And we're not looking to be average. I think the higher returns and higher, the bigger benefits are on the outliers of average, i.e., better.
Correct. Yeah.
Smashing.
And also by doing this, you can build a brand. So let's say if you're building a portfolio and then you achieve a product which is great and it's outstanding, and then you have tenants that say, inviting people over, say, "Oh, look at this! I never seen something like that." And then once you have like a trademark for yourself, and you can just introduce some certain items which you resonate with, then you could go to the second one, the third one. Then people will come to you. They'll have tenants, let's say, put them on the list. Next time you're doing one, I want to be living in your properties. So it doesn't stop here. So you're trying to build something which you'll stand out for. Like it's part of you, and then it gives you a better return, a better business, a better customer. It's not just aesthetically pleasing spaces, not that only.